If you grew up in a home where your emotional needs were not met, or if there was any type of abuse or trauma, it most of the time will lead to dysfunctional adult relationships. This is usually the big connection. We look back at your home. Were your needs met? If they weren't, you continued to try and meet those needs with a dysfunctional partner. And one of the ways that I work with clients to heal is to reparent. We reparent ourselves, and I'll explain what that means in this video. And I'm going to share 4 steps that I teach to begin the process of reparenting. So, what does it mean to reparent yourself? The type of reparenting that I am speaking about in this video is about meeting the needs of your childhood self, your little self, that you never got from your parents or your caretakers when you were a small child. In most cases, even if your parents are still alive, you will still not be able to get what you need from them emotionally. And learning to reparent yourself, becoming your own parent, allows you to heal the emotional wound that is left by your parents. Why should you do this? Why should you reparent yourself? Well, what I have witnessed both in my own healing and in my clients is the direct correlation between our most painful experiences when we were little and the partners we choose as adults. Basically, if you think back to when you first felt some type of hard feelings in your family, like unloved or not enough or criticized, or you were too much. Think back to how old you were. And usually it's toddler, maybe 3 to 5 years old. And we get kind of frozen there emotionally. And our 5-year-old self then chooses the dysfunctional partner over and over again because we have an unconscious need in our brains, we're not usually even aware of it, to get the love that we didn't get at that age. And our primal brain wants to get love from our parents, and the partner we choose is like a surrogate partner, whether we know it or not. We can't get love from someone who is incapable of giving it to us. And that's what we do. We reparent ourselves and fill the hole that was left by any of our childhood traumas. And then we are able to attract partners at a mature level instead of having our 5-year-old choose our partners. I have just recorded a few coaching sessions for my podcast, and this came up for both of these sessions, where I had these women go back to the earliest memory, and one of them was 2 or 3, and she had experienced violence and alcoholism in her family, violent anger and screaming and hitting. And the other woman also had experienced a lot of personal trauma, divorce at an early age, and parents who just were not capable of being there for her. And then what happened is they both chose partners who were emotionally unavailable, narcissistic, self-centered, very much echoing who the parents were. So I am going to share 4 steps to begin reparenting yourself. The first step is to be kind to yourself. Reparenting can feel really awkward and strange at first. It's a process that takes time, and it also takes a lot of self-compassion. Breathing can remind you to stay present in this moment and give yourself all the time you need to undo the damage that was created a very long time ago. And it takes time. If you think that you were frozen at 5 emotionally in terms of your romantic partnerships, and now you're 55, that's 50 years ago that you got frozen in that state. And so be kind to yourself as you start this process. It's going to take some time, and give yourself the time it takes. The second step is to find a photo of yourself at the age when you first felt the wound. So, like I said, if it was 5 or 3 or 4, when you first felt misunderstood or scared or alone or unloved, abandoned, shut down, really feel the felt sense of how old were you, and then try and find a picture of yourself at that age. If you don't have a picture of yourself at that age, find a picture of yourself at the earliest age that you can, at the youngest age that you can, and put it where you can see it every day. So whether it's on your computer as a screensaver or your phone, whether it's up on the wall, post it somewhere. So find that photo, even if it's a really sad photo, and often it is, and put it somewhere where you can see it. The next step is to give that little you in the photo the love that she didn't get when she was little. Think about the messages that you wanted to hear from your parents. What are they? That maybe you're good enough, that you're enough just as you are, that you're lovable just as you are, not only when you're well behaved or you get good grades, that you are you and special and unique and amazing. So tell that little girl in the photo what she wanted to hear, what she would have loved to have heard. It may feel weird in the beginning, but this little girl part of you needs you to love her just as she is and to reparent her as if you were her parent. And step number 4 is to celebrate. You were not recognized or celebrated and seen for the special, unique person that you are when you were little. And that's why it's so important to celebrate every step of self-love and self-compassion as you reparent this little child. Reparenting is not easy, so acknowledge the courage that it takes and celebrate the person that you're becoming, the person that you really have always been deep inside. I believe it is never too late to give yourself what your parents could not. You can reparent yourself and fill in all those gaps between what you needed and what your parents could give you. This is the path to your last first date.